Welcome to the Accountancy Learning video debriefs for AAT sample papers. I'm Sarah, and in this video I'll take you through the Principles of Costing Sample Paper 1 Task 7. Task 7 is about budget calculations and exception reporting using formulae. Bright Star Limited is a manufacturer of board games. You've been provided with the following information in a spreadsheet. So down here we have got the information. Part A is using the information provided in cells A1 to E8, complete the following table. Now with this question we need to make sure we're reading the question carefully. So formulas must be used for figures entered into cells B11, B15, D11 and E11. So we must use the formulas in this particular part of the question. Now there's a little bit of other information given to you there, is that there is a formula guidance in the references panel. So right hand side of the screen you can open up the formula guidance to check which format that the formulas are in and what you can and can't do as part of a formula. The second bit is the remaining cells should be completed by entering figures only. So although for the 4 cells at the top we need formulas, the remaining cells that we fill in must have figures only, so we don't use formulas in those cells. All monetary values should be to the nearest whole pound. And we're told that the variance percentage column has already been pre-formatted to 2 decimal places. So we are going to be looking at our formulas first of all. So B11, B15, D11 and E11. So they are the yellow boxes that we've got on screen here. So obviously you'll be typing into this. I'm going to be writing it in. So for revenue then, so B11, so revenue, so we need our selling price and our number of units. So you'll type in equals B3 multiplied by B4. That will then give you 150,000. But you'll be marked on using that formula. For the profit or loss at the bottom, now we haven't got all the numbers in here at the moment, but the formula that you need to put into this cell will be taking the revenue, which is in B11, and then you're going to want to take off all of these costs here. So you're then going to want to take off the sum of B12 to B14. So at the end you'll have a figure there once you've put in the other costs. For the variance column we are going to need to put in a formula. So this is going to be equals. Now we're doing revenue variance, and it's really important that you understand the revenue variance is the opposite way round to the expense or the cost variance. So our revenue is always actual minus the budget. So we're going to do C11 minus B11, which gives us 9,600 as a negative. And just to explain why, so this variance here, because we've done the actual, so what did we actually make minus what we budgeted, because the budget is higher than the actual, it means our variance has to be negative, it has to be adverse. If you'd done it the other way round, it would have shown as a positive variance. So it's very important that when you come to revenue or profit, you're doing actual minus budget. Your variance percentage is going to be what your variance is, so it's going to be equal to D11 and then you need to divide it by your budget figure. So divided by B11 and then multiply that by 100 and you'll get minus 6.40. Now that is this first part done. So you've done all of the formulas there. So now we need to do figures only. So we need to do our calculations, but we're just going to enter in the figures. So direct materials then, so the budget is going to be our materials. So we've got 1,000 kilos at £28 per kilo. So it's 1,000 kilos times 28 gives us 28,000. Our direct labour is 2,300 hours multiplied by £15 per hour, which gives us 34,500. And our production overheads is 50,000. So now your profit or loss formula that you've put in will give you 37,500 as the figure when that formula is done. So the variances then, so our direct material is going to be the budget minus actual, so it's the opposite way round to what you've done. So it's going to be budget minus actual, so it's 28,000 minus 33,750, which gives us minus 5,750. And then our variance is going to be the minus 5,750, and we divide that by the budget. So we divide the variance by the budget amount and times it by 100 to give us a variance of minus 20.54. So direct labour, again, we're going to do budget minus the actual to give us 1,500. And then again the variance, you're going to divide your variance by your budget to get minus 4.53 variance as a percentage. Your production overheads, again, we are going to divide the, we're going to take off the actual from our budget, which gives us 5,000. We divide the variance by the budget and multiply by 100 to give us 10%. And now our variance, we need to look at our profit and loss variance. So we then need to look at what is the difference between the two. So our budget was 37,500 and our actual is 25,650. So we're going to do actual minus budget. So again, when we're looking at profit, we need to see how much did we actually do and how much should we have done, which gives us a negative 11,850, because we should have done 37,500 but we didn't. We only done 25,650, and again we divide that by the budget to get minus 31.60%. And then using those figures we can then answer part B, which is to identify whether the following variance is adverse or favourable, and we're looking at the profit or loss variance. So as we said, the actual profit is lower than budget, which makes it adverse. So in this question, do make sure you're reading the question very carefully so you know what format you need to put your answer in.